Greetings everyone everywhere, my name is Ryan Thomas, founder of Medicine Man Concoctions and Cure-Alls, and you have tuned into the Emo-Punk Whiskey Tater Rater. I went to a Census Fail concert last night, and my ears are still bleeding. So this is my first ever review episode, and it was uber important that I kick things off right. So I pondered and pondered for far too long on what to review fresh out of the gate here. Like, should it be something entry? Should it be a top shelf letdown? I am totally gonna start a ska band called the Top Shelf Letdowners, by the way. Should it be a bottom shelf diamond in the rough? Something classic, something borrowed, something blue, something old, something new. I just took way too long to figure this out. But one thing that just kept coming back to me in particular that tends to get a lot of attention, whether it's overhyped, it's all the love, it's bland and blind scrutiny, or just all the hater taters. This one in particular really feels like the right place for me to start. This is something that's just awed by all the new kids on the block. It's in high demand, it's highly sought after, which makes it rather difficult to get one's mitts on. It's considered by many to be the crowning glory at the low end of high-priced whiskeys. So, without further ado, I submit for approval of the Punk Tater Society Blanton's Single Barrel Bourbon, produced in Kentucky by Buffalo Trace Distillery. Like I said, Blanton's is a bit like Bigfoot out in the whiskey realm. It's an allocated bourbon that is hard to spot and highly coveted. Being the case, getting your hands on a bottle can mean paying higher than retail prices in my area, ranging in the $60 to $80 realm. So like the name states, Blanton's Single Barrel is a single barrel whiskey, meaning one barrel dumped and bottled all by its lonesome. That alone can give some varied characteristics, which makes each bottled constellation truly unique. And Blanton's was actually the first to market single barreled. Now, I do love me a sexy bottle, and Blanton's certainly is no exception to that rule. It's this rather distinct honeycomb grenade kind of shape, if you will, with some antique style features such as parchment paper type labeling, which includes some handwritten details. Each bottle of Blanton's is corked with this elegant, ornate figurine of a horse jockey atop steed in a racing stride, and there are actually 8 different figurines corresponding to a letter in the name Blanton's, each in a different sachet as they scurry to cross the finish line. The bourbon itself boasts this really nice shiny penny kind of color and brightness. So now let's talk about the nose. This is my nose. It's gonna take a whiff of this here bourbon. It smells like bourbon. Yeah, no, actually it's rather fragrant with a nicely seasoned, balmy herbal bouquet of grains and cloves tucked away in a dark, deep wooden cigar box hidden inside an old oak tree. Yes, it smells like poetry, my friends. Now, on to my favorite part. Time to put it in my mouth and tell you what I think it tastes like, with even more ambiguous metaphors that we will call tasting notes. So take notes. Blanton's nibbles just a tiny bit back at you with this prickly, spicy little zing that eventually mellows to a nice, subtle, sweet pipe smoke swirl with creamy citrus atop planks of wood and honey-dipped figs. And it fades to finish just slightly bitter, but never begrudgingly. This is a very tasty bourbon. Very pleasant and smooth, well-balanced bourbon flavor that makes this one oh so easy to indulge in. So in my estimation, Blanton's is a darn good bourbon and one to definitely have in your collection. It's worth the price at retail, and given its scarcity, it is that much more an auspicious libation to experience. So now, what musical pairing would I recommend while sipping on this holy grail of tater rotgut? Didn't have to think too hard on this one at all. One of the greatest and most influential bands from the past few decades, Sunny Day Real Estate. Sunny Day, fantastic band from Seattle. Most of you should be familiar with them. I would start myself with In Circles and hum along in chronology to The Rising Tide and just feel. Sit back, sip, and feel. Great music, great bourbon. And if by some chance you haven't heard of Sunny Day, I'm jealous because you're in for a treat. Just type them into your Spotify and allow the ether to prepare a playlist that will fill out your senses as you slowly knock back that sweet, sweet set. So thanks for tuning in. I'd love to hear from you. Kind comments only, please. If you have any requests or recommendations, want me to try your hooch, or even give your band to listen to, please do not hesitate to reach out to me on my Insta. I hope you've enjoyed, and until next time, make your own choices, stay emo, and always punk responsibly. Cheers.